Good morning, friends. Okay, today we will begin with this first lecture on the subject construction contracts, specifications, and estimation. Okay, construction contracts, specification, and estimation. If you see the syllabus part, okay, so there are first they are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about this estimation part, estimation and rate analysis. Later you have specification. Okay, so estimation part, you are not actually going to estimate the building or any road work or something like that. You, what are the required data required for preparing the estimate, and the major types of estimate, and what are the factors affecting the estimate, so those things you are going to study. Okay, not exactly the estimation of any building, something like that. Now, why this is included? Because for any civil engineering work or any work, any type of building work or civil engineering work, to have a agreement, to have a contract between the client and contractor, you need to have some basic data such as estimate. Okay, so that is why you are going to learn this concept, that is estimation, that is estimate, data required, types and factors affecting, that is first required. And apart from that, you we are going to discuss about rate analysis. Rate analysis is also very important in forming a contract. See here, whatever topic or concepts we are discussing, no, those are related to contract, that contracts and its administration. Why it is important? If there is a change in the rate at the later stage, how it is affecting the contract between client and contractor. Okay, so in that way, this rate analysis and specification are discussed here. But if you see this portion, analysis of rates, here a lot of items have been given. That is the first principle, that is lot of work, earthwork, lime, concrete. So from the in the engineering, in the final year, you might have studied these things. Okay, so same thing, how much labor is required, how much material is required, how much T&P required, and additional profit charges. So all these are calculated for 1 unit of work, for 1 unit of all these works, and cost is estimated. So all those things are discussed here. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, apart from that, in the next module, you see there are construction specification. In general, specification is nothing but the methodology adopted in the construction and the quality of material engaged in the construction. So in broader way, so material part, labor part, and its construction methodology. So which term describes this one? Specification. What should be the material quality, what should be the labor class, and what is the methodology. So all those things will be discussed in this module. So same lot of items are repeated here, same items which for which rate analysis is to be done, the same materials are there for specification also, same material is also for specification also. So detailed these two things we are going to study here in this subject. Apart from this, apart from this here in the module 3, that is contract, tendering, bidding and contracting. This is very important from your this one understanding. Okay, so here what actually contract means definition of what contract. And now what is that? There are two terms. Is there any difference between agreement and contract? Okay, so like that we are going to study essential of a valid contract. If contract is to be valid and if it is to be performed, what are the conditions it should possess? Those things we are going to study. And later, generally in discussing contract, what are the different terminologies will come, different terminologies. Okay, promisor, promisee, offer. Okay, like that there will be some terms, so we are going to see that at the later stage. Agreement and contract. Okay, difference between agreement and contract, types of contract we are going to see. And from this is what Indian Contract Act, whatever contracts which takes place in India, so they have to be in accordance with this act. This act is formed from the parliament. Okay, so they have put some regulation, obligations, everything. So we have to see the conditions there present. So we have to form our contract in line with this act, in line with this act. So all these things they are covered in this module 3. Apart from that, from a general civil engineering perspective, we are going to see tendering procedure, methods of tendering, what are the different conditions of contract and guarantees. So these things are very important for a civil engineering or for any work. In general way, anyone can tell tender tender has been there. Okay, we are going to bid that contract. Okay, so what are the guarantees we are going to put for a client, okay, to get the or to be awarded for that work. So in general terminologies are there, so we are going to see them. What is tender, tendering documents, what is its procedure, methods of bidding or tendering, okay, conditions of contract, like that. So we are going to see all those things in the module 3. So here in this next module, there is a concept called as claim and there is a concept called as dispute resolution. Claim is one thing. See, in the beginning, contract is awarded, okay, to one contractor. During the performance of that contract. Performance of contract means in engineering, civil engineering term, it is called as execution of the contract. Okay, during the performance or execution of that contract, rate was agreed before only at the signing of contract, but during the construction there may be some variation, and contractor is not ready to do that work for the agreed rate. He needs some extra rate, or he needs some extra cost, or he needs some extra time. So these extra things which he wants for the awarded work, those things are called as claims. Maybe cost, maybe money, maybe any other thing. So whatever he is wanting, no, so those things are called as claims. If these claims are approved or accepted by client, then there is no problem. He wants more money, he will give, client will give. He wants more time to execute that one, and client says okay, you can do. If he agrees, then claims will be settled. If client does not approve those claims, then it will lead to what? It will lead to dispute. Dispute is nothing but disagreement between two persons, two or more persons. We call it as a dispute. Now, what are the different disputes? Dispute resolution means, in a civil engineering term, how we can resolve those disputes. So those things we are going to study in the dispute resolution mechanisms. So here in the starting, what are these? In the claims part, reasons for the claims, okay, types in claims, causes, effects, and these are some standard claims. What are these? We call them as a deviation, we call them as an extra item, express quantity. We will see in the later part. Okay, so claims and dispute resolution. Okay, so these are studied in the module 4. In the module 5, we have some special type of contract. We call it as BOT, relational contract, and later stage we are going to study general laws which affect the civil engineers, general law. Okay, so special type means what? So build, operate, transfer, like that it will come. PPP framework means public private partnership will come. So what are the risk involved there? What are the special type of agreement that is called here concession agreement. Okay, so we will going to study in them detail. So relational contract means partnering and alliancing. So we are going to see that one. And special laws which are there: labor laws, sales tax, VAT, service tax. Now all these sales, everything is replaced by GST. Okay, goods and service tax. So we are going to study in this module. So here for today's class, we will begin with this module 3. As these things complete, later we can touch for this. Later we can go for this first and second module. So in the starting, we go for this module 3 only. Contracts, tendering and bidding. Okay, contracts, tendering and bidding. Okay, here we are going to discuss about contract. So contract is nothing but some agreements have been already framed now. So that agreement is there. Agreement includes what? Some conditions, no? Some conditions. So those conditions should be accordance to with the law of that land. If you are performing a condition, if you are performing a contract or any agreement, it has some consideration or conditions. So those conditions should be agreed by that country. So that country, that conditions should be accordance with that country's law. Okay. Now we are going to see what do you mean by law. Here, law means which are nothing but set of rules. So whatever contract conditions are there, so those should be in accordance with these set of rules. If you are making a contract which does not follow the rules, of that country, so that means that contract cannot be executed or performance cannot be guaranteed. Okay, so that contract we call them as null and void, okay. So like that some terms are there. So whatever the law is there, it should sorry, whatever the contract conditions are there, those things should be in accordance with the law. So here law means set of rules which governs our behavior and relating in civilized society. These are some simple basic definitions. Okay, so law in general we can call it as set of rules which governs our behavior in relation to civilized society. For uncivilized society, do you require any law? No. For uncivilized society, you don't require any law. Okay. Now, just we'll go briefly about this. What is Indian Contract Act? Indian Contract Act. It is a big, what is that? Document. It is a big document. Act is in the form, generally in the form of documents. Okay. Here, clauses are written. Clauses, or you can say rules. We generally call them in law language clauses. We call them as a clauses. Okay, so these clauses related to what? General principles or special kinds of contract. So this Indian Contract Act has major parts. One is general principles and special kinds of contract. So for this we will see at the later thing. Okay, so what Indian Contract Act, how are the clauses are framed there. Okay, how clauses are. For here we can just simply understand that. So there are some sections are there. So 1 to 75 sections are for general principles. Okay, 1 to 75. Apart from that, some other clauses are also there. Okay, now these 1 to 75, these clauses are applicable to all type of contracts. Now there are some extra or some special provisions are there. We call them as special contract conditions. Special contract conditions are mentioned in 124 to 238. You should not remember all those things. I am just giving an idea what is Indian Contract Act and what is its general composition. Okay, we will study in detail at the later part. Okay, for this class you understand it is a contract. Indian Contract Act consists rules or regulations, okay, or principles. These are the three terms which describe this Indian Contract Act well. Okay, so it contains some clauses means what, conditions means what. They will be giving number, clause number 1, 2, 3 like that. So 1 to 75, these are related to normal contract applicable to all type of contract. Some special clauses or conditions are there. These are applicable to only special contract. What are the special contracts? Indemnity, guarantee, bailment, pledge, agency. Like that, they will be having some special type of contract. There you are going to see that. Okay. Now, what are the various definitions of contract? We'll see very in study briefly. What is the meaning of this contract or definition? If you see this one, every agreement or promise, this term is very important. Okay, if this is not there, then it is not a contract. If it is there, that means enforceable at law, enforceable by law. So any agreement between two or other persons, two or more persons, or promise between two or more persons, which is tested under the action of law, tested under the action of law, we call them as a contract. We call them as a contract. If it is not enforceable by law, then what is that? It is a null and void. It is called as a null and void. Okay. Okay. Now, example, if you can see, I will give a civil term only. There is a contractor A, there is a client, okay, B. Now, agreement is what? For execution of this small building, he is going to pay this much. So that is an agreement. That is an agreement. For construction of this, he will give 25,000, like that. Okay. Now, whether this is a enforceable by law? Yes, it is enforceable by law. So then we can call this agreement between these two persons contract. This is called as a contract. Now the same example, same thing, we can go for in another way. B will tell A to construct this building, which is on the government road, which is on the national highway government road. Okay, he is going to pay same amount 25,000 and A has to perform this one, but there is a one condition that has to be executed, that is near to the highway, on the highway. Okay, that is a public road is there, there he needs to construct that one. Whether it is agreement? Yes. Okay, agreement between these two persons. Whether it is a promise? Yes, B promised A that he will going to pay the amount. Whether that is enforceable by law? No, it is not at all possible. So when after the construction or during the construction, whether it will justifies its thing to at the court, whether law can be enforced here? No, not at all possible. So now in this way, it is not enforceable by law. That means law will prohibit this thing. Law will say no to this type of agreement. Will say no, don't execute, don't perform. Okay, it is against the country's law. Okay, so that time it is not called as a contract. It's not called as a contract. Have you understood the word enforceable at law? Similarly, if B will tell, I will pay the amount, but you should bring the cement and aggregates from which what is that? From illegal way. Whether that is enforceable by law? No, that is also not enforceable by. Illegal means what? Thefting of some other person's aggregate and cement from any other godowns, like that. Okay, so I hope you have understood what do you mean by enforceable by law and which cannot be enforceable by law. Okay, so those are the things. Now here the detailed definition they have given. It is an agreement. It is an agreement between two or more persons. Yes, A, B, C, two or more persons. Okay, which is intended to be enforceable at law. Means what? Whatever the agreement these people have, whatever the agreements these people have, those things should be enforceable by law. Those things should be enforceable by law. And is contracted by acceptance by one party of an offer made to him by other party. What do you mean by this one? It is a contract between two persons or more persons, such that one person is giving the offer and another person is accepting that offer. That is the meaning here. So it is contracted by the acceptance of one party of an offer made to him by other party. Means one party is offering, another party is accepting. Okay. Now, which is very important, to do or abstain from doing that one. What do you mean by that one? There is offer to construct this building. That means to do. There is an offer not to do that construction. There is an offer also not to do that construction also. That type of agreements are also there. Okay. So that is the meaning of to do or abstain from doing. Okay.